Hi everybody, I'm Chef AJ. Today is March 22nd, 2014. It's my 54th birthday. And believe it or not, 35 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. That's more than 60 pounds than I weigh now. Just 2 years ago, I weighed almost 50 pounds more than I weigh now. But I was able to lose that weight. And now, my very favorite chef outfit is just too big on me. You know, I get at least 100 emails a day asking me how I lost weight. And as my birthday gift to you, I'm going to tell you as soon as I get my pants off. The most common question I get in the email is exactly what do I eat? And I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to tell you how I did it. What really helped me was reading these two books. And as great as the science is, I couldn't eat the science, so I had to learn how to eat. I went to True North in Santa Rosa, California, and they taught me how to eat in accordance with a principle known as calorie density. So I eat the most calorie-dilute foods first, and I fill up on them. You know, I actually eat more food now in terms of volume and more delicious food than I ate even when I was fat. I eat from these 4 food groups. This is the PCRM Power Plate. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, whole being the operative word, and legumes. I eat as much as I want from these 4 groups, as often as I want, and I don't worry about weighing or measuring or counting calories or counting carbs. And it's great, because I love to eat, and I eat a lot. And you know, I lost these 47 pounds without even exercising. Not that you shouldn't exercise, you should. What don't I eat? Well, of course, animal products. And if you need a visual, no sugar, oil, or salt. One of the other things I don't eat are nuts. Not that they're not healthy, but I could not eat them in the quantity that I need to eat to feel full. And even a little bit, I found I couldn't lose weight eating them. Let me show you an example of calorie density. One of the things I do is I make sure I eat at least 2 pounds of cooked green vegetables a day. And I know some of you are thinking, well, that's a lot. Well, is it really? Because here's what my 2 pounds of vegetables look like for the day. I have a combination of green beans and sugar snap peas today, but it could be anything. Some days it's cauliflower, which technically isn't green, but it's a cruciferous vegetable. It could be Brussels sprouts, broccoli, kale, whatever you like. This is 2 pounds of vegetables that I steam before cooking. It has 200 calories, no fat, and it's full of fiber and water and vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals and antioxidants. This is going to fill my tummy up, and I make sure that I eat these before I eat the good stuff. You know, the starch, the potatoes, the rice, the beans. And I always start my day, first thing in the morning, breakfast, with at least a pound of something green. Now this is 200 calories of vegetables. This is 200 calories of walnuts, an ounce of walnuts. It has 20 grams of fat. What do you think is going to fill you up more? Some people I know are still eating processed and refined oils. This is more than 200 calories of oil. This is 240 calories of oil. This is 2 tablespoons of the best first press finest extra virgin olive oil. It has 240 calories, all from fat. There's 28 grams of fat in here. 4 of them are saturated fat. You think this is going to fill you up? It has no fiber, no nutrients, no vitamins or minerals or phytochemicals or antioxidants. It's what my good friend Dr. Wes Youngberg calls hypercaloric malnutrition. People have no trouble eating 2 tablespoons of oil. A lot of people eat a lot more. If you're putting it as dressing on your salad, you're probably going to use a lot more than this. So these are things I don't eat. And I eat lots of these, and I make sure I eat the most calorie-dilute foods first, which are the vegetables and the fruit, before I eat the starches, which we're going to get to, because you need to eat those for satiation. Now these 2 pounds of vegetables I eat every day are in addition to any starchy vegetables I eat, like potatoes, corn, carrots, or any legumes like peas. And it's also in addition to any raw vegetables I eat in terms of salad or perhaps snacks. And think about it. Cucumbers, tomatoes, bell peppers, all really healthy. Those aren't vegetables, those are fruits. I eat them too. But I'm talking, eat 2 pounds of veggies a day. The people in my program that have done this have lost, some of them, over 200 pounds. It really works. This is the ticket, let me tell you. But You can't just eat vegetables, you can't just eat fruit, or you'll be really hungry. So, what do I eat? Well, believe it or not, I still make the recipes from my book on processed. You can see how dog-eared this is. This was the first edition. Now, it's true, their recipes have nuts in here, but mostly it's the dessert recipes. Over half the recipes have no nuts, so I use those. And those that do, I just omit the nuts. Or I replace an equal amount of nuts for beans. So there's still a lot of great recipes in here that I actually use for my family. I've been a culinary instructor for 14 years, and I've been teaching a lifestyle program for the past 7. And I found that people generally don't have 7 distinct breakfasts, 7 distinct lunches, and 7 distinct dinners in their 21 meals a week. Most people find a few favorites and they rotate them, and I'm no exception. One of my favorite go-to meals is split pea soup. Here I have it in a freezer bag because this just came out of the freezer. You'll find this on my website under the Chef and the Dietitian, episode 51. It's a great recipe and it freezes really well. So we have this about once a week. My all-time favorite recipe, which is episode 56 on my website under the Chef and the Dietitian, is my red lentil chili. We'll eat this by itself as a chili, maybe sprinkle some scallions on it, have some baked oil-free, salt-free tortilla chips with it. But my favorite way to eat it, which is my favorite way to eat everything, is over a baked Yukon Gold potato. So I make that every week in my pressure cooker. Well, let's say you don't have a pressure cooker. That's okay. Any recipe I do in a pressure cooker, you can do in a slow cooker or even in a pot on the stove. You know, I've had the privilege to speak at many colleges and universities across the United States, and I get letters and emails from college students asking what they can eat to be healthy, because the food on college campuses is generally not very healthy, what they serve in the dining halls. And I get emails from regular people that say, I don't like to cook, I don't want to cook, I don't even want to know how to cook. What can I eat? So I'm going to show you some recipes right now that I actually eat every week that are so easy to prepare, even my husband does them. Right, Charles?
Yes.
I travel a lot. He can make all of these recipes. You don't even have to necessarily have an oven. A microwave will do. Now, I know some of you feel strongly about not using a microwave. That's fine, but in the case of a college student, maybe that's all they have. Let me just show you how easy these are. One of our very favorite meals is the stuffed potato. Right here I have a Yukon Gold potato, and if you have a problem with white potatoes, use a sweet potato. It doesn't matter. You just need some kind of a base. When I buy my potato, organic of course, I look for the biggest, fattest one I can find, and I weigh them. This one was 17 ounces. I like to try to find the 20 ounce ones when I can. And I put on it organic corn, salt-free pinto beans, and my homemade pico de gallo. There's a recipe in my book for that salsa, but you can find salt-free salsas pretty much everywhere. At least you can in LA, and you can often find them online. Sometimes we'll put some jalapenos on this. My husband, he puts some avocado or some guacamole and sometimes olives on his. This is a delicious filling meal. Not that you have to worry about calories, but it doesn't even come into maybe about 350 calories. It's filling, it's satisfying. I've served this meal to regular people, in other words, people that weren't plant-based, at parties, and they've loved it. Sometimes I'll even have a do-it-your-own potato bar, where I'll give the person their choice of sweet potato or Yukon Gold, and I'll have all the toppings, and they'll put on whatever they want. And of course, if you don't, for whatever reason, don't care for pinto beans, this works equally well with black beans or really any kind of bean. I like to switch it up a little bit. But we have this at least once a week. It takes not even 10 minutes to prepare. And you know, let's just say you couldn't get a baked potato for whatever reason. Wendy's sells baked potatoes. You can get all the components pre-made. You don't have a potato, you don't have any way to heat stuff up. We do the same thing over chips. Now, I actually bought these chips. They do sell in Los Angeles salt-free, oil-free, baked corn tortilla chips. There's a recipe in my book if you want to make your own, but these are nachos. This is filling, delicious food. You know, I grew up in California, so Mexican food is my favorite. I never get tired of this meal. And again, sometimes I switch up the bean. You don't want to use corn chips? Maybe polenta could be the base. Maybe brown rice. Maybe quinoa. It doesn't matter. So you just need to have some delicious, filling, starchy food to fill that tummy after you eat your veggies. One of my favorites, which I'm not going to show, is to take a sweet potato and fill it with black beans and broccoli, or sometimes kale. That's really delicious as well. Let me show you an even easier recipe. You don't have to make any of the components. I find that, at least in LA, almost every grocery store, whether it's a health food store or not, has a salad bar these days. So here's what I like to do. I like to get the rice, brown rice, already pre-made. If it's not at the salad bar, it's often at the sushi bar, and they'll just sell it to you. Of course, you can make your own, but these are for people that are too lazy to cook and want delicious, healthy food. So in a bowl, I'll put my brown rice. I'll take some salt-free black beans. I'll take a cup of that pico de gallo I was telling you about, which I always have on hand because it's delicious. And then I'll pick some components from the salad bar that I like. It varies. Today I chose red onion, shredded zucchini, shredded carrots, corn, and peas. And I mix it all together in a bowl. Look how beautiful the color is. Look how easy this is. I call this Fiesta Rice because it is. It's like a fiesta in my mouth, and it's absolutely delicious. And I've actually served this in company, and they go, oh, can I have the recipe? I'm like, just go to the salad bar. Look at that. That is beautiful. And honestly, I would probably eat half of this as my serving. I love that now I can actually eat more delicious food and weigh less. Look at that. How easy is that? I mean, I think anyone could do that. Sometimes I put scallions in. Today was red onions. Doesn't matter. This is delicious. Now, sometimes I go to restaurants. I'm lucky that a block away from my house is a restaurant called Flame Broiler, where I can get a brown rice veggie bowl. It's a lot more food than it looks like, but underneath there's at least 2 cups of brown rice, and these are vegetables that have been quickly blanched. There's some carrots, broccoli, and cabbage, and some scallions. It's really, I'm going to show you, it's a lot more food. Now, maybe you don't have Flame Broiler near you, but I bet you wherever you live, you have a Chinese restaurant. You can always get steamed vegetables and brown rice. Just make sure they don't put oil in their rice, because a lot of places do. You have to ask. So I'll put that in a bowl. And what I like to put on that is something I call yummy sauce. That's what I named it because it's really yummy. I always have this on hand to make all my meals delicious. It's a fat-free sauce that I made up. If you want the recipe, you'll have to either wait for my book to come out or wait till I shoot a video on it. Usually I make it in a high-powered blender so that it will be hot on my hot food. And I just mix in as much or as little as I want. And you can see this is quite a lot of food. Very nutrient dense, but not calorie dense, and delicious. And we eat there about once a week. On nights that I work late, I just pick up a couple of bowls, and usually I pick up an extra one for the next day's lunch. Very simple meals, take minutes to make. I'd love to have a meal with you, so you can really see that I'm not kidding about how much food I eat now. Let me tell you where I'm going to be the next year. July 2nd to 6th, I'm going to be at the 47th Annual Vegetarian Summerfest in Pennsylvania. It's one of the most inspiring events you'll ever go to. You'll hear speakers this year like Howard Lyman and myself doing cooking demos and giving lectures. It's just a really, really fun event. It's a blast. We have a great time every year. In September, from the 20th to the 27th, I'm going to be at Rancho La Puerta. If you have a bucket list, put this at the top of your bucket list because it is heaven on earth. It's the most wonderful spa that I've ever been to. I get to guest chef there and give some lectures. That's the place that inspired me to finally start exercising. It really is heaven on earth. As you can see, I love it so much. I'm wearing one of the shirts I got there. I'm going to close out this year at one of my favorite places called True North Health in Santa Rosa. This is the 4th annual holiday cooking extravaganza, which will run December 22nd to January 2nd, and I'll be guest chefing and lecturing. It's such a great time at the holidays there. We do cooking demos every day, and I'm in charge of fun and games. Here we're going to even have a talent show this year, and it's so fun there at the holidays. Dr. Goldhamer even lets us have dessert. I know many of you think of True North as a therapeutic water-only fasting center, and it is most of the year, but not the last 12 days. So please join me there for the 12 days of Christmas. And next year in March, from the 14th to the 21st, I'll be sailing once again on the MSC Divina for the 12th sail of the Holistic Holiday at Sea, where you'll also hear wonderful speakers like Dr. Neil Barnard and Dr. Colin Campbell. And you can sign up for any of these right now. We'll give you a link at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If there's anything I can do to assist you in your journey to optimum health, please write me and let me know. And I know that you can have the body and the health you deserve. I'm Chef AJ, and happy birthday.